Today I want to talk about character. So character development is important, not only in storytelling, but also as you're creating content for your viewers. They want to know who you are as a character. You're a character in your story. So we've talked before about the 5 essential elements of story, which is character, setting, plot, conflict, and resolution. So all of those elements really hold true in developing who you are as a character as well. So as you're relaying information and communicating with your audience, they want to know more about your character or who you are as a character in your story. It'll help you develop a relationship with those folks one-on-one, and that's really what you're going for. There's some classic examples of vloggers and or people in movie history who are great characters. A couple of them are obviously Casey Neistat. When it comes to vlogging, Casey's a great example of storytelling. He can tell a story like no one else when it comes to communicating his history, his past. So we learn a little bit about his relationship with his mother and his father. We learn about the relationship that he has with his own family, with his wife and daughter, but also his history of filmmaking and kind of how he got to where he was. And what that does is develop a relationship with you, the viewer, and he as a content creator. The second is Peter McKinnon. Now, Peter is a quick rise to fame, only been vlogging for a little over a year now. But what we've learned about Peter through his storytelling and how he's developed his character is that he really got his start in the magic industry. He used to take photos and make movies about magic and magic tricks, and that led him deeper into photography, and he became a professional photographer doing studio style work, which then eventually led him into filmmaking, where now he's obviously traveling the world and making some pretty incredible films. So he's been able to develop his character and share that over time, and I think that's what has drawn an audience to really watch the products that he creates in his content. The third example is really a movie character. So when we think of it in the classic sense, let's think of Luke Skywalker. Luke has a lot of examples of how his character was developed over time. In the beginning, it was how was he going to get off of his home planet, and the second was really more along the lines with his conflict and resolution, obviously, with who his father was. And the third was, if you remember, at one point he had to make some critical decisions. The conflict was, do I save my friends or do I go and continue on with my training? But the most classic, of course, is the light and the dark side. And that's a real vivid way of describing conflict and the resolution that he was dealing with. So I guess as you're thinking about developing your character and sharing your story with your audience, think about all those classic elements of story. Because really what you're doing is developing your character as time goes on. Build that relationship with your audience, and that will tie them in and draw them closer to want to continue to follow along and watch your content. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you again tomorrow.